Good morning. This is Shravya Ruddarraju from Computer Department of Delhi Public School, and today we will be going to discuss a topic called artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. So, in this topic, we mainly discuss about the definition of the artificial intelligence, what it is actually meant, and the second one, importance of artificial intelligence, how it is important in our day-to-day lives, and the types of AI applications. In these applications, we will discuss about the applications which we are already using in our daily lives through AI technology, and advantages of artificial intelligence, disadvantages of artificial intelligence. These are the topics we will discuss in today's class. So, what is AI? So, artificial intelligence is shortly called AI, and the main definition of an artificial intelligence is this is a technique that enables machines to mimic human behavior. As the name suggests, artificial intelligence, we are artificially giving a machine or a computer the intelligence which a human possesses. So, this is the main motto of artificial intelligence technology, giving a machine human intelligence, or giving a machine or making a machine to behave like human being, or the behavior which the humans have, we are going to incorporate in a machine or a computer. This is the main motive of artificial intelligence technology. So, coming to the definition, so artificial intelligence is the theory and development of computer systems which are able to perform tasks normally required human intelligence. For example, we can take examples such as translation of languages, speech recognition, decision making. So, these are the things we can develop using artificial intelligence. And for this artificial intelligence to be designed, first we have to make a machine to think or to learn like human beings. So, first a machine have to learn, reason, it has to learn how to reason, how to decision make. So, all these things which normally a human being does in our day-to-day lives. So, and for that intelligence to be in a machine, we have to stimulate human intelligence and we have to program it through coding. So, this is first introduced, this term actually is first introduced by John McCarthy in 1956, and 1956 is a very long back. At that time, people, when the scientists told about artificial intelligence, nobody believed it, because they thought this is an impossible task and we can't get this technology in our daily lives. But the data resources we are having today, the database system and the technologies we are having today made it possible, and here we are using AI in our daily lives right now. Importance of AI. So, what is the importance of AI? Why do you need AI in our lives, or why does this technology need in our day-to-day lives? So, as we learned the definition of artificial intelligence, we are making a machine or a computer think like human being. But thinking like a human being is not an easy task, because humans, person to person, differ, their thoughts differ, their intelligence differ, and their decisions depend, decision making also differs depending on the situation they are in all this. So, this the main importance or the goal of artificial intelligence is to create technology that allows computers to think like human beings. Types of AI. So, basically, and we have mainly three types of AI. So, the first type is artificial narrow intelligence. The second type, artificial general intelligence, and the third type is artificial super intelligence. So, we will discuss in detail about these three types of AI. So, artificial narrow intelligence. So, this is also called as narrow AI or weak AI. Why is it called like that? So, the main motive or the main definition of narrow intelligence is This type of AI is the one which focuses primarily on a single task, single narrow task. So that means it has a similar sort of limited abilities to perform. So for example, whatever AI we are having right now in our daily lives, you name it and this is the technology we are using in it. The other two are different, and this artificial narrow intelligence is the technology which we are using right now. For example, the smartphones we are using, in which we use GPS and all, the Uber, Ola, all these will have artificial intelligence technology, and especially it is artificial narrow intelligence. We can't generally just say artificial intelligence, that is nothing but the narrow intelligence, because it is basically focus on a particular single task. They are only limited for a range of abilities which can perform only single task. So for example, we have in few countries we have restaurants where the robots are serving the customers. So this can be an example for artificial narrow intelligence. So why is we calling narrow intelligence? So the example I gave you, the robot serving in the restaurants, they are basically taking orders from the customers, okay, and they are delivering the order to the kitchen, and they are getting the dishes and they are serving the customers. So this amount of performance is just limited for a particular task. So here they are just the robots or the machines, they are only specified for serving the customers. So this is nothing but a limited task. That's why this is called narrow AI. That means this is only specified for a single task. That is what it is, artificial narrow intelligence. This is the first type. And the second type, artificial general intelligence. So this is a way more than artificial narrow intelligence, because in this type of artificial intelligence, the machine have to think on the same level as the human being. And as I earlier told you, thinking like a human being is very much difficult, because all the human beings are not on the same level. Their thought process, their decision making, everything differs from person to person. So, but taking into consideration of the human being, we can't just program a machine with a particular type of intelligence. That means in this case, the machine or the robot have to think on its own. But how does it think on its own? So that has to be well programmed in it, and it has to learn from its previous history of tasks which it has done. So that is how it will gain artificial general intelligence, and it will probably take some time to get this onto the success of the research, because we still don't know all there is to know about the human brain itself. As I told you, human brain is very unpredictable, and we can't just program it in a certain way to the machine. So this takes a lot of time, maybe in the near future. So this is artificial general intelligence. So basically this AI has to be on the same level of human being. This is the second type. So third type, artificial super intelligence. As the name specified, the machine has to be super intelligent. So what is super intelligent? So in this case, and this is little bit scary in the theory part, because in this case the machine should have neural networks, because this type of AI is going to stimulate human emotions and relationships in the machine. So a human being will have emotions, relationships, all the feelings and all. But how does it come to a human being? It comes to the human being through brain. So now how a brain works? Brain works with the neural network. So brain is connected to the neural network in our body, and brain stimulates the neurons, and likewise we will have feelings, emotions, touch, all those things. So this type of thing which is in the human being has to be developed in a machine. So this is a scary part, because building a neural network artificially is a very difficult thing, because we can't build a brain easily. We don't know how a brain is made. Of course we know the material of the brain and all, but the feelings, the emotions, how we are getting it, we have to be very careful in building it. So this is very tricky part and the scary part and very complex part. That is why it is called artificial super intelligence. So as the name suggests, this particular AI carry out things or tasks, but they would even be capable of having emotions and relationships. So that is the problem here. For the emotions and relations to be built, we have to have neural networks. So that is the problem here, and this is going to be a lot of research in it, because the previous artificial general intelligence is also in the research right now. So this will take a lot of time to be in the research. So these are the types of artificial intelligence. The first type, artificial narrow intelligence, which is having or concentrating on a single specific narrow task. So, and the whatever AI technology we are seeing right now in the world is nothing but the artificial narrow technology, which is called ANI in short. And the second technology, artificial general intelligence, which has to be, the technology has to be in the same level of human brain. So that is also in the research part, and it takes little time. And the third part, artificial super intelligence, which needs neural network for a machine to stimulate feelings and emotions and relationships. So that is what the three types are. So let's discuss a few terms which are related to artificial intelligence. So data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning. So we will discuss in deep about all the side headings. So I'll show you a pictorial. So artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning. See, deep learning is the inner part of the artificial intelligence, machine learning is the mid part, artificial intelligence. So these are the terms we use in artificial intelligence. So basically machine learning is the subset of artificial intelligence and deep learning is the subset of machine learning. So this is how this technology is built actually. So now let's see how this works and what are these actually meant. So as in the previous slide, we have a side heading called data science. So what is this data science actually meant? So data science is a very age-old concept, which means it is the extraction of knowledge from the data. But we will use different types of techniques and theories and algorithms for the extraction. But mainly, what is the difference between knowledge and data? So knowledge and data. So when we just talk about these things, they look similar, but what is the difference between these two things? So I'll give you an example. So data is like your textbook, which have so many chapters, so many questions, so many content. So it is a bunch of information. It is a bunch of information, right? Now knowledge. So we are, as the definition is specifying, it is the extraction of knowledge from data. So knowledge is like the exam you are writing, maybe. So in the exam, what we'll do? You don't write the whole textbook, right? You will only write the concepts or the questions which you are being asked. So you'll only write the answers needed. But where are these answers coming from? These answers are coming from this data. That means your textbook. So while you're writing the exam, you're writing the answers actually. So those answers you are extracting from your brain through the textbook or from which you have read from it. That means the textbook basically, textbook and notes. But textbook consists of whole lot amount of information in it, because it has so many chapters, so many questions, so many side headings, all this happens, right? Knowledge is nothing but the answers you are giving in the exam. So this is the basic difference between knowledge and data. So for putting in simple terms, we can say knowledge is the amount of data which we require for a particular task. and data, we are extracting that amount of knowledge from the data. So data contains so much amount of information from which you are gaining little, you are taking little amount of information which you need for a particular task. So that is called knowledge. So here in the data science, you are actually taking few amount of data which you actually need to perform a certain task from the more amount of data, more amount of information. That is the main difference between knowledge and data. So that is data science. So what is the connection for the data science in artificial intelligence? So okay, this is data science, and next artificial intelligence. I will tell you the relation between these two. What is actually artificial intelligence means? So this is the technology in which a machine is trying to have human intelligence or human behavior. So why does data science coming in the artificial intelligence? So for artificial intelligence, if you want to program something or if you want to make a machine which is dependent on AI, it needs lot more amount of data for it. Artificial intelligence will have a lot amount of data. It needs lot amount of data storage actually. So data science helps in it. Of course, we'll program more amount of data to the artificial intelligence in the first place. But when a robot or a machine which is dependent on AI is performing certain tasks, it has to do in a certain way. In the earlier example, I told you the restaurant and the robot serving the customers. So what the robots are doing there, they are taking the order and giving the dishes back to the customers. Here they have to perform according to the data they are programmed for it. So here comes the data science. Data science, as the name specifies in the definition I told you, it is the extraction. So it has to perform according to the, and in this case also each end customers orders different types of dishes, different types of food, right? So it has to remember and it has to act according to the situation and the customers who are there. So that is where data science is coming. So in that example, data science is nothing but taking orders and delivering the correct order to the customers. That is where that is the extraction of knowledge. So that is data science. Artificial intelligence, this is the concept of what we are talking right now. So it is just imitating human behavior, but this seems very easy while reading the definition, but it takes lot of algorithms, lot of techniques, lot of development in the data science, lot of development in the robotics field. All this has to be done. In the other term, machine learning. So in the types of AI, the second AI what we have learned is artificial general intelligence. So this is almost similar to it. So machine learning, as the name suggests here, machine has to learn here. So it has to learn from its own experiences. So human beings learn from their own experiences. What is an experience for the human being? Experience for a human being may be the previous things he has done, that person has done. Maybe the experience may be the type of taste you have in your mind. So how do you have a taste in your mind? That means you would have tasted that thing or that food in somewhere, like in the previous days. So when you have the same dish in front of you, you will have that taste in your mind. Without eating, you will have the taste in your mind. That is what experience makes you with the brain. So in the same way, machine or the computer should also have to learn from its own experiences. So for that we need some statistical methods to enable machine to improve with experience. And here machine learning needs more amount of data, because for the experience, here the machine experience means the previous history. Just like the browsing history we will be having in your computer, here also the machine will have a certain amount of history according to the task it has performed previously. So it has to learn from the previous history it has. That is what machine learning is. And this is not like a human being learning from their experiences. So here what have to happen is we have to code a lot more data. Coding is much more important. Giving lot amount of data is more important in machine learning. So simply, for putting in simple terms, for the machine learning, if you give more amount of data, the performance will be good. The performance is better. So if the data is less, the performance is low. It is as simple as that. But that coding part is little complex. We have to give so much amount of data. We have to code lot amount of data. So that is machine learning. Deep learning. So this also can be related to the third type of AI which we have discussed, artificial super intelligence, because in deep learning we should develop a neural network, neural system in a machine. So but this technology makes the same computer layers, multi-layer neural networking, and uses neural networks to stimulate human-like behavior. So basically deep learning is nothing but stimulation of human emotions and feelings to a machine. But for the stimulation of anything, we need a brain. So machines don't have a brain. We have to develop a brain in a machine. Not only brain, only with a brain we can't move or we can't feel anything. It has some networking. Brain has that networking, which is the neural network, and we have to develop neural networks in a machine. So this technology is actually developing neural networks. And why do we need neural networks in a machine? So in deep learning, what is the main motto is to stimulate human-like behavior. Stimulation only happens with the help of brain. So we need a brain, we need neural network for this deep learning to be in the research. So this is a very complex concept, because developing, as I already told you, developing a neural network in a machine is very difficult. So these are the terms we have learned: data science, deep learning, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. So these are all the subsets of one another actually. We have to rely on the previous one to get the next technology. These are the terms. Now applications. So in the applications, first actually applications, we will only discuss about the applications of AI technology which we are already using in our life right now. So the first application, smartphone. So smartphones are vividly used right now by everybody. So what happens, what technology we are using, how we are using AI in smartphone? So smartphones we have, so smartphones have an OS, operating system. So according to it, we will we'll be using this Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant. So these are nothing but the AI technology, because it is recognizing you, it is acting according to the instructions which you are giving to your phone. So these are nothing but the smartphone in which we are using AI technology. And the second example which I want to give is portrait mode in portrait mode. So how is portrait mode is dependent on AI technology. So what is a portrait mode in the camera? So portrait mode actually, when you're clicking a picture, so there will be a subject. So there will be a subject. So the surrounding will be blurred. Surrounding will be blurred. Only it has to identify the subject, and the surrounding should be blurred. So how does it identify a subject? So when you're clicking a picture, the subject cannot be a human being all the time. It can be anything. It can be a flower, it can be an insect. So the shape and size of each and every subject changes. So how is it identifying a subject, different subject every time? So in this case, it needs artificial intelligence technology to identify the subject. So it identifies the subject through, because in AI we are giving little intelligence to the machine, so it can identify the subject. and it is making blur around the subject and we are taking a picture. This is how portrait mode works. So in portrait mode we are having artificial intelligence technology. That is the application, first application. Second one, smart cars. Smart cars are nothing but the cars which are driven without a driver. These are not gearless cars, these are cars completely without a driver. So how does these works with AI technology? So while you are driving a car, you need to consider, if a human being is driving a car, that person has to take into consider so many things, the live traffic, the vehicles which are going around and coming along the way and coming against, all these things we have to take into consideration. And not only this, we have to take into consider the traffic signals and all these things. So that also needs intelligence. So smart cars also will have AI technology. Third application, social media feeds. So what are basically social media feeds? The main important social media websites are Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. So in these platforms you follow people or pages, some types of amount of information you will be following there. So why social media feeds need our AI technology? So what happens is, you will get some suggestions to your feed in these websites or these feeds. You will get some suggestions, people suggestions, maybe some pages suggestions. So how is it appearing on your feed? So it appears according to the search history you are having, or according to the people or the pages you are already following. So it will filter the amount of information in the social media, and it will it will suggest you to follow these so and so people. So those suggestions will be getting for you according to the previous history you are having and the type of people you are following. This is how social, and here also AI technology is applicable because it is filtering data for you according to the amount of information you are already following. So that is social media feeds. Music and media streaming. So this also needs AI technology, not these regular streaming apps. Nowadays we have so many music streaming apps like Wynk, Savan and all. So here also you will be having few suggestions from the app, and those suggestions also depends on the previous songs which you have listened. So this also the extraction, this is nothing but the extraction of the history, extraction from the history to the suggestion. Video games. This is very well aware because video games need so much of AI right now. The games which we are having, PUBG for example, because in PUBG we will play according to the people and all. That is video games. Online ads. So online ads is also similar to the social media feeds. It also gives you information according to the previous history. So if you open Amazon, if you want to search something in Amazon and Flipkart, you will search something. And later you will open some other website which is not e-commerce. You will later open some other website, and still you can see the advertisements on the feed on the website page which you have already searched previously in the e-commerce website. So these ads also need AI technology. So this AI technology predicts things and gives you advertisements according to the browsing history you are having. So there are few other applications. Navigation and travel. Navigation and travel. In this, the main examples will be Ola, Uber and Maps, Google Maps, all this comes under. So how is it AI technology is needed here? So if you take Ola and Uber, you will book a cab and he will come to your doorstep. Of course, that needs GPS. Even GPS also needs artificial intelligence technology, because in Ola and Uber they will show, and even the Google Maps, they will show the live trafficking, where the amount of traffic is heavy and the amount of traffic is less. So that also the apps specify. So that is where AI technology is used in navigation and travel. Banking and finance. So while you're having, you will have a bank account and you will be receiving few types of mails and messages from your bank, and that messages is not going like it is not like some person is sitting in front of a computer and sending that mails directly to you. This is not the scenario. So what happens in banking sector and finance sector is the messages you are getting is broadcast messages. So basically broadcast means sending a message to everybody in your contacts, but it is not like that, because that particular message is not needed for each and every user. So here where AI technology is applicable, so that technology filters the mails, filters the information according to the user, according to the customer, it filters the transactions the customer is having, so it filters all these things and only sends the messages and mails just which are needed for the particular customer. So this filtering is nothing but the AI technology. This is banking and finance. Smart home devices. So these are very much in market right now. Smart home devices are nothing but the lights and fans which are using sensors. So smart lights, smart fans, all this comes under smart home devices. So while you're walking, you don't need to go and switch off the fan, switch off the light when you're leaving the room. So when you leave the room, it will automatically get switched off, because it will sense that the person is not in the room. So this is where smart home, these are smart home devices. Security and surveillance. Security and surveillance is nothing but the using for the security purposes. For example, CC cameras, not the CC cameras actually. So when you install a CC camera, there are few apps. When a person is passing through the CC camera, you will get a message to your phone, or you will get a mail that there is an object which is passing through the camera. So this is where this AI technology is used, not the simple CC camera. Actually CC camera records everything like a video, but that message and mail which I told you is because of AI technology, because it has to identify the person or an object or a subject which is going through the CC camera, and it has to mail the person or mail or send a message to the phone number which is already registered in it. So this is for the security and surveillance. Smart speakers. Smart speakers, you already know, Echo, Amazon Echo and all, because when you speak to this type of speakers, it will reply to you. It will reply to the question which you are asking. So this is smart speakers. And here also it needs AI technology, because it is replying, that speaker is replying to you according to the question which you are asking. E-commerce. E-commerce are nothing but the shopping websites. So this also needs, so while you are searching, or while you are searching for a particular product or things in an e-commerce website, that history also is being stored, and it will show you, it will give you suggestions. It will give you suggestions according to your previous search history or the browsing history of the website. So coming to the advantages of artificial intelligence. So the first advantage would be having a very low error rate when compared to the human beings. So even when we are comparing a computer with a human being, computer makes less mistakes. It is more accurate. And in the same way, artificial intelligence technology also will have low error rate. But here the tagline will be like, if it is coded properly only. So if the coding is not good, it may make mistakes. So in artificial intelligence technology, the coding is the key. So we have to code it very properly, so that we don't have any mistakes. So artificial intelligence technology will have low error rate when compared to the human beings. Second one, So, if a human being want to work in any dangerous environment like land minings and all, here we can alternate human beings with human robots, humanoids actually. So, even if there is a life risk to the human being, as we know these are the machines, we can reconstruct them, we can rebuild them. So, in such environments we can take advantage of AI technology, so that there will be no human life loss. So, the main examples would be space research, land mining, all these environments where there is a threat to human life. So, we can alternate human beings with the machines or the robots which we are developed to do this type of tasks actually. So, this is the main advantage of artificial intelligence technology. So, even if you take the example of the movie Robot, that robot is actually made to fight in the army. So, that means army, while you are fighting, that is also a risk to the human life. So, that is what I am specifying, that hostile environments which are dangerous and which the environments which having a life threat to the human beings. So, in such environments these are a very good alternative to be in other than the human beings, because human life is more important than the machine. So, the third advantage, we can almost same like the second advantage, we can replace humans in certain tasks which need so much more effort for the human being. So, if we are doing the same task again and again in a certain job, we can replace these machines which are having artificial intelligence technology with the humans, because for the humans, if the same task is repeated over and over, it takes a lot of laborious task for the human being. But the machine, it can do a task very repetitively and very easily. So, that is an advantage in which we can replace humans with the machines in such tasks such as which are repetitive and which are dangerous in dangerous environments and which needs lot of labor. So, this is another advantage, which is the prediction. So, artificial intelligence, that machine, if we are building a machine with AI technology, that type of machine is going to have certain amount of intelligence. So, that intelligence we can use it for the prediction of tasks actually. So, that prediction may be while you are typing something, when the human being is typing something, or if the human being want to search something on the internet or in the computer, maybe something like that. So, we can use AI here, or this AI technology machine, so that it will predict and it will ask and search what you want. That means it is reading our brains actually. So, it is reading our thought process. So, this is an advantage. So, the main advantage here will be, these type of robots, we can call robots, or these machines can be good assistants to the human beings. So, they can work as assistants. Organized and manages records. So, as we all know, a computer stores a lot of data. So, it can store data. A basic computer system can store data. But the organization and the management of the records or the data which we have saved will be done by the human beings. So, in this case, we are replacing human beings with these machines, so that machine with the AI technology can be able to divide the data according to the genre it is, or if you want a folder which are having only photos, that previously only with the computing system, the human being or the user of the computer have to divide it, and we have to create a separate folder for it, and we have to dump all the particular things which we want to be in a single folder. We have to dump it. The human being have to dump it. So, here what is happening is, this AI technology machines are going to organize and manage. They are going to divide the data according to the type of the file, and they will arrange the data according to the type. So, this reduces the work of the human being, organizing and managing the records. Next one. So nowadays it is the machines with AI technology are able to interact with human beings, specifically for the entertainment purpose, or sometimes it can be like for the mental health of the human beings. If a human being who has nobody to talk, because human beings loves to talk, and when it is coming to the mental health of the human being, that person has to talk. So if he is not willing to go to a therapist or a psychiatrist, we can replace those positions with a robot which has certain amount of intelligence, so that that person will feel that he has someone to take care, someone to talk, who are not going to reveal their secrets and all. So for the mental health also, we can replace these type of AI technology machines, so that it can interact with the human beings for the sake of mental health and even for the purpose of the entertainment also. So in this case, this advantage is like they can think logically without emotions. So basically the initial artificial intelligence which we are having right now in the world, as I told you in the earlier slides, that is artificial narrow intelligence. So that narrow intelligence is going to perform only a certain amount of particular single task which is only designed for it. So here, so it is almost like the computer. So the computer or the machine is not having any type of emotions, it is not having relationships, it is not having emotions and feelings. So without the emotions, if that machine is going to perform a certain task, the decision making it is taking will be errorless, because it won't consider any of the emotions which the human beings are having. So the decisions which the machine is taking with the AI technology will be rational and logical, so that there will be no mistakes in those decisions, and or sometimes less mistakes when compared to the human brains. Can assess people. So this assessment of people is an advantage, because this assessment we can use in healthcare sector. So for this also I will give an example of this robo movie, because that humanoid robot can scan the person. So by scanning the person without going to the hospital, without going to the diagnostic center, that robo can easily and very fastly can assess the people for their physical health. So this is a very advantage because of the time saving. In our busy lives, it will be a very good time savior, so that it will assess the people just by a glance. So this is the last advantage is basically the advantages of a computer also, because the machines, even if it is having an artificial intelligence technology, the machine basically is not going to get tired. Even how much time it is going to work, that machine don't need any breaks, and it don't need sleep like human beings, it don't need to eat, all these things. The normal human beings, what we take breaks for, those breaks are not necessary for the machine. So this is an advantage, because the productivity of the task will get increased. So this is the main advantage, and the last advantage I want to tell you. So it don't get the machines don't need entertainment, food, water, all these things. So the productivity of the work will get increased. That is an advantage. So these are the advantages we have discussed. Mainly it will take decisions logically without errors. So it can assess people and all these things. So we can replace machines with human beings with the machines in some dangerous environments. So these are the main advantages of artificial intelligence technology. Now coming to the disadvantages. So the first and foremost disadvantage will be the cost and the time. So here the cost and time for building a machine with AI technology is a lot more. The cost is it takes a lot amount of money, it takes so much of time to build, and even if you get any repair for this AI technology machines, it takes lot of time to get repaired, and even the cost. So they take so much time to build or rebuild, so that it takes lot of money and time. It is difficult, and this is a disadvantage because not everybody can afford this easily because of the cost. So the second disadvantage, so this is a morally correct or ethically correct discussion which is going on in the world, because what is artificial intelligence actually? So artificial intelligence is, we are giving the intelligence of the human being to a machine. So how does a human being get intelligence? So it is the gift of God, gift of nature actually, gift of nature. So what this discussion is about is it ethically or morally correct to give a machine the intelligence which the human being is having, and which is natural to the human being? We are not getting something from the outside as intelligence. So it is a gift of nature for the human beings. So some people discuss or debate on this topic, because is it actually right or wrong to give intelligence to a machine? So intelligence is a possession of human beings. So it is like, is it right, like if we can build human like robots, so which is maybe so they think that this is a threat to the human beings. Building a human like robots and having artificial intelligence is like a threat to the human beings. This is a debate which is going on right now, and some people think this is right because they think intelligence or the human behavior and all are the gift of nature. So this is a debate actually, and this is also a disadvantage. The third disadvantage, storage problems and the retrieving of data problems. So what is the problem here? So for an computer or a machine, the storage is very expansive. We can store lot of data, but from that data, retrieving the particular data which you want is difficult. So when in this case, we are comparing human beings intelligence and the brain to the machine. So if you want to know an answer for the question, you have to search the system or the computer, then it will give the answer. So first you have to give the input, and it processes and it gives the output. So but if it is a human being, that answer, if the human being knows it, the answer we will get in a few seconds. So this is like expansion problem, retrieving of data problems. So this we can consider as a disadvantage in artificial intelligence technology. So actually this point we are comparing a human being and a machine in the data retrieval. So this can be a disadvantage when compared to the human beings. So next disadvantage, creativity. So human beings have lot of creativity. Even we code so much of amount of data into a machine. So let's take some music, an example. So we can code all the ragas of Hindustani and Carnatic music into these machines. But whether a human being also knows all these ragas and all, if the person has learnt, but with the learning he also can create a new tune, but that a machine can't do it. This is, I'm telling you as an example. So what the point here is the creativity, not only in the music, anything, even filmmaking, any creative fields, we can't, a human being is creative on his own terms, but a machine can't be creative, because machine is always a pre-programmed computer. Only in this case we are giving a little more intelligence to the system. Other than that, we are not giving creativity, because creativity is not a thing which we can pre-program in the system. So it has to come naturally. So how does the creativity comes to the human beings? So that is the in the previous point, the disadvantage we discussed, the ethical and moral values of the human being. So it also will have the same. So creativity is the gift of nature for the human being. So, but that creativity we can't give simply to a machine by programming it. So this is the main disadvantage. And the other disadvantage, unemployment. So a machine or a technology is, when a new technology is evolving in the world, surely it is making our lives easier. In many ways, it is making our lives very easier. But here what is happening is the unemployment. So if we replace human jobs with the machines, the human beings are losing their jobs. They are losing their daily payment or their wages, living of, so that is the unemployment. Unless this unemployment is a disadvantage, unless we are substituting something for the human beings other than the jobs which the robots are doing, if we are substituting or if we are creating some other jobs for the human beings which only the humans can do, then it is okay. But mostly we are replacing the human beings with the machines. So here the unemployment increases. So the next one, mental capabilities and dependency of dependence. This is what is, with the technology we are humans, we are more dependent on the technology. Not only artificial intelligence, we are, even we have phones now, smartphones. Previously we used to have landline phones. So when we are having landline phones, so many people, human beings, we used to remember so many phone numbers. So when the technology came, the smartphone technology came, we are having everything on your palm. We can search anything on your palm from the smartphone. So we are so much dependent on it. Nowadays nobody knows more than 5 phone numbers. Why? Because there is no need to remember, and we are not making our brain think. So with the inability of the brain, human beings can lose their mental capabilities because of the dependency on the technology. Not only AI, any technology which is making our life easier, we are so much depending on the technology. So in this case also, when we are dependent on the AI technology, and AI is a much more advanced technology which asks for the dependency of the human beings. So in some cases we may lose our mental capabilities due to the lack of work, due to the lack of mental strength, due to the lack of mental abilities, because we are not thinking much. There is no need to think, because everything, the robot or the machines which are having AI technology are doing it in our lives. So there is no need to work. So this can lead to some mental inabilities. So that is a disadvantage. And the last disadvantage is, some people think that if machines are not used properly, they lead to destruction. So I say, what I say is, anything if it is not used properly can be lead to destruction. So any technology, not only technology, anything, if a knife, we can cut vegetables and we can kill a person. So that is how we are using it. That depends on how we are using it. So a technology or anything which is making our life easier, if it is not used properly, it will lead to some sort of destruction. Okay, these are the disadvantages. So I just want to revise. The entire topic for the day. So artificial intelligence, the basic. So we discussed these topics in today's class. The definition of the artificial intelligence, importance of artificial intelligence, types of AI, and artificial intelligence is shortly called AI, and applications which we are already using in our daily lives, advantages and disadvantages. So what is AI? So the definition is very simple here, because we are just giving the intelligence which is a possession of human being to a machine. So this is as simple as that, but the development is very difficult and very complex. But basically the definition is, we are making a machine to imitate or mimic human behavior, so that we can have the technology in which we can replace human beings in certain amount of tasks or professions. So it needs so many types of algorithms and techniques for the artificial technology to be developed. And basically in the first case, to achieve artificial intelligence, a machine or the computer which we want artificial intelligence in it have to learn things, have to reason, because human intelligence comes from all these things. Because humans can take decisions on its own, they can learn from their experiences, right? They can learn from their experiences and they can reason everything going around them. So the first and basic thing in artificial intelligence to be for the development is that machine has to learn, reason and able to make decisions on its own according to the situation. So this is the importance. And types, we have discussed 3 types: ANI, AGI and ASI. And the first type, ANI, is the AI technology which we are right now. So whatever example I told you in the applications previously, all comes under this artificial narrow intelligence technology. So this is the one which we are already using it. And general intelligence is, this technology is almost in the level of human thinking. So it takes little time for it to be in the research. Super intelligence. Super intelligence is a complex task which needs neural networks to be built. So as the name suggests, the machine has to be super intelligent. So it takes little more time. And these terms already we have discussed. Data science. Data science is the extraction of knowledge from the data. I explained you the difference between knowledge and data. So artificial intelligence, and this is the whole topic is about, and machine learning and deep learning. So machine learning is nothing but, simply what I will tell is, machine learning is the machine has to learn from its own experiences. This is what the basic motive of machine learning. So with the machine learning, for the machine learning to be for the development of it, we have to give lot more amount of data to the machine. We have to code more amount of data. And deep learning, this is almost similar to the artificial super intelligence, building neural networks. Applications, we have discussed smartphones, smart cars, social media feeds, music and media streaming, YouTube and all, video games, online ads, navigation and travel, banking and finance, smart home devices, security and surveillance, smart speakers and e-commerce websites. So advantages we have discussed: low error rate, replacing human beings in dangerous situations, environments, replacing human beings in repetitive and tedious tasks, and predicting what a user is going to think or type. So in this case, these robots can be good assistants for the people. Organizing and managing records without the human help. So interacting with the human beings for their good mental health and all. So this is, they can think logically without emotions and all. So the decisions what the machines are making will be having less errors or no errors. And it can assess people. In this case, we discussed about the health and the physical health of the people. And this is a general advantage of the machine, so that it won't get tired and all. Disadvantages: it takes lot amount of money and cost and time to build and rebuild. Second disadvantage is the morals and ethics. Some people are debating on it. Third one is expansion of storage. There is a lot of storage there, but the retrieving is little difficult when compared to the human brain. So other disadvantages, we can unemployment, health, mental health inabilities, because we are so much dependent on the technology. So, and it leads to destruction if it is put in the wrong hands. So this is the artificial intelligence. So hope you understand about the artificial intelligence technology, and which is the growing technology in the present day. So hope you understand this technology. Thank you.